Hey there, Dango Stu here. Today's video is about finally spinning the prop and getting that cutlass bearing bed in, and is proudly sponsored by marineengine.com. What enabled me to finally get this prop spinning was some parts finally arriving, but before they did arrive, I started neatening up those electrics. Okay, I'm just going to drill a hole down through the dash. Ooh, it's a thick dash, that's for sure, but nothing below it to drill into, which is good, because we're going to need to feed the wires for the lighting in the compass down. One thing I really want to buy soon is a little 12 or 24 volt vacuum cleaner. I guess if the inverter was working I could use the 240 volt without starting the generator. But for now, it is what it is. Raining again today, so I'm just pushing on with the wiring. What I'm doing is I'm actually peeling these outer sheaths from the various gauges back, because the more wire you've got, sort of paradoxically, the neater you can make it, the more you can get your service loops, you can group them appropriately. You kind of think in some ways keeping wires shorter would be neat, but it actually means that you can't route them in a sensible way. So peeling them back so we can sort out the mess and make it both more serviceable and more understandable. Obviously this gauge came from Jamaica. These are all the positives, and I've just put a spade terminal on here because they're the devices. I made them the male. This is the positive feed, which is fused and switched, so I've made that the female so it can't arc against something if it comes disconnected. Pretty standard stuff. So this is the power that's going to be going to my flow meter. Once again, this can be heaps neater by just cutting back this sheath so that I can keep this side here, instead of it all kind of coming up and spreading too close. So I'm just going to keep separating these outer sheaths so that I can group the wires, cable tie them, neaten them. The rain stopped for a little while, so I decided to row over to the post office and check the mail. Yes, I've decided to start rowing Red Dwarf a little bit more just to get the exercise. And finally, the reducers, and specifically what I wanted was something I could put into the seacock and have it come off at a bit of an angle. That was the tail I was after. So these are the two bits we need in order to finish the cooling system, which is good. I ordered a few extra bits just in case, because they take so long to arrive. I'd rather have spares than be missing something I need. Of course, when I ordered the Vitas fuel filters, the store I got it from were out of stock on the barbs and plugs. I still have no indication of when they're coming, so at the moment it just ends in these 16mm threads. I went and saw Pertec about it actually to see whether there was a way I could get around it, just buy them from them. And they said if it doesn't have a seat here, which it doesn't, this is just pipe with a thread on the end, then their fittings don't work. If they could give me something that would convert it to BSP, then I could do a BSP fitting, which, look, it's an option. But I'll see if they've got an ETA soon, otherwise I might go that way. I'm not going to wait forever just for a couple of fittings. Now, from the shape I can tell what this is. I'll undo it and I'll show you. What this pole is, and yes, I told you I need a vacuum cleaner. This seat props up, and it's kind of cool for driving, means you can stand at the wheel in rough weather, but if you want to sit, you can prop this up at an angle like this. Works better than flat. You're better off about here. Then you can also have your feet on this box. This box. By the way, the lid of this was glued and screwed on. I pried it off, and I was wondering what was inside, and the answer was absolutely nothing. And this is how much stuff I can store in here. So I am going to clean this up, and I'm putting a lid with some marine carpet on top, hinged off the, you know, this little cabinet here, so I can just store more stuff on this boat. To have a space like that inaccessible and just wasted seems criminal on a boat this small, so that's going to be a great little storage, you know, just bungs. And this head torch viewer sent me, really nice head torch, so I'm really pleased about that. Thank you very much. When I came up the coast in this boat, my only real journey in it so far, after owning it for over a year, there was literally just a stick that, there wasn't actually even like a socket for it here, and it wedged into here, and it would fall and you'd almost break your spine, sort of thing. So what I have now is this stand that will screw into here, and you can drop it and move it out. So they had two lengths of pole. One was quite short, one was a smidge too long, and I thought, no big deal, take the cap off, cut it. So we're going to cut it, have it so that it comes up, wedges in here. I think it'll be fine. We could put some edges, but I don't think it's going to slide around. The other system was terrible, particularly given it's screwed in at this end. And then it locks in, so it won't swing down. I think that's going to be heaps better. There's no room for a proper seat here at all. If you did, you would just totally block the door and deprive yourself of the space you need to stand at the wheel in rough weather. So this is going to take the existing system and just make it heaps better. So, another job. While we're talking interior layout though, my plan, before I do the new carpet, is to cut that pole off the ground, cut that one off the ground. What I do want to do is have this table and move it further away. I think originally it was designed so you could sit either side of it, so maybe two people could eat or whatever, but let's be honest, this isn't a liveaboard boat. If the weather's that bad, you know, go to shore, seriously. I don't know if I've talked much about it yet, but I actually had a bit of an epiphany the other day, and that really is that we're going to need a bigger boat, you know, it's all there is to it. I intend to keep Renko because I think it's going to be perfect for a whole lot of activities, mostly the YouTube stuff, to be honest with you. But it's too small to spend any serious time on. Yes, you've got a sink, you've got a fridge, you've got a stove, you've got a bunk, so you can stay for a weekend or whatever. You know, when you look at it realistically, there's no shower, no large internal space to be in if it's raining. You know, there's no head on board. Like, I'll add a few of these things. There's not actually freshwater tanks yet either. So I'll definitely make it more capable. Like, I'll definitely put a head on board, and I'll definitely put fresh water in, because whether you're away for 1 day or 30, you need those things. But I think its forte is always going to be diving, fishing, you know, wreck hunting type stuff. I think if you're going to go away and stay on a boat for a month, you need a different style of boat. Now, what's been really good about that realization is that it's allowing me to make decisions that make it the best dive boat, fishing boat, adventure boat it can be, instead of making too many compromises. If you try and make it a cruising liveaboard boat, you know, it's going to be bad at everything instead of good at one thing. So that's become my goal. All right, just going to give this one a quick check. I'll flush it out actually. There we go, a bit cleaner. They're all flowing nicely. So, Teflon tape, and this is the tail I got, so it can kind of head off a little bit at that angle. It's actually a little bit steeper than I was hoping for. I was sort of hoping maybe for like a 60 degree or something, but we'll see. We've still got straight ones as well. I bought straight and this angle, so we'll see which works best. I found with these fittings you actually need a lot more tape than you'd think to get a good seal. Certainly compared to like a copper plumbing or anything. Let's try that. Yeah, it's feeling a bit tighter now. Okay. Alright, loop. Here's our reducer. Now, just going to measure the pipe length we need. Okay, just measured the pipe length I need. I'll cut that on deck and then we'll come and install it. I'm a little bit 50-50 on the best tool for cutting this. I think it is the Sawzall, but it's a little bit more awkward when you've only got, you know, two hands. So I'm just going to use the grinder. The rubber smokes up a little bit, but it cuts through the steel, reinforcing nicely. Got that on. Okay, that sits on nicely. Yeah, I think that angle's working out well. All right, so far so good. All right, we finally have a completely plumbed raw water system, start to finish. Although the raw water system is now complete, I'm still having a problem with the fuel supply, so really I need to wait to get those fittings for my fuel filters in order to get it finished properly. So because of that, I just got on, pushed on and installed the post for the seat. Actually, I'm going to cut a slightly more conservative amount off because we can always take a little bit more off later. I think we were right the first time. That's all right. All right, that feels pretty good. All right, let's screw it in. Okay. So, collapsed. Out of the way, locked in, up. Nice. Oh, sweating like a pig now I've done that, but pretty happy. Got a driver's seat, got a raw water cooling system. Not a bad day. Got to about this stage of the day and I sort of thought, you know what, I actually do have fuel and now I've got raw water. Let's just fire it up again, see how it goes. I did that and it kind of started to come good. Obviously it did run with these fuel pipes, this original primary fuel filter before, and it ran fine, surprisingly. So I figured, you know, give it a go. And it actually reminds me of something I've been meaning to talk about, which is having, in the car world we refer to like a rolling project, and in the boat world it's a steaming project, who knows. But the idea being that you get the car or the boat to the point where it's usable as quickly as possible. Then in one day if you go, you know what, I'm going to do that brake conversion, I'm going to get it in, put it on the hoist, take the drum brakes out, upgrade to disc brakes or whatever, you know, that's a discrete project, and by the time you finish the car's usable again. And that's actually how I'm going to be thinking about the boat pretty much from now on. I'm going to upgrade the fuel system, but it does have a fuel system. You know, it's obviously got issues, but it does actually work. The same goes with the exhaust. It's a usable exhaust. Does it need modification still? Yes, but given the bits I had at the time, it was the best exhaust system I could, you know, build in that condition. People made comments about it, and I appreciate people's sort of suggestions and things. This is the leftover bit of the flex pipe, and if you stick it on your knee, that's the sharpest turn this pipe can make. Much, much, much bigger than the bent 90 degree. So doing a 90 degree bend with this is out of the question. Putting it above the 90 degree bend but below the deck is even less space, so I couldn't do that either. Regards to the flex joint above, that's not there to be a flex joint. That's purely there because they were the adapters I had. I couldn't go from a 4-inch outer diameter to another 4-inch outer without using a bit of that flex pipe to adapt my two band clamps, because they're not straight band clamps. I only found that one on board. If I'd had two of those, I wouldn't need that at all. I have ordered one of those rain caps though, so I am going to go the 4-inch, and that'll replace that flex joint entirely as well. So we'll eventually have 4-inch pipe straight into the muffler. By the same token, I can't push the exhaust further to the port side because then it starts coming in front of the door, which is no good either, obviously. Two ideas though I did quite like. One is replacing the 9 degree bend with a T-piece. This gives you basically a straight up, so it's a really sharp 90-degree turn. I can cut 30mm off from the straight up, which will give me room to put a little bit of a flex joint in there. That also then gives you a inspection port or a drainage port on the other side, so you could have some sort of cap for that side that you can remove if you want to. So that makes sense too, I like that. Now, obviously it's a sharp bend, it doesn't flow as well, but we're not making a race car here, you know, it's a diesel trawler, so I think that'll be fine. The other one is where the pipe comes up through the deck, is taking that out and going to something similar to a car where you just have those rubber mounts that go onto the hooks like you have with a car exhaust. That'll give, you know, room to move there, which means I can then have the flexible part below the muffler above the deck. And I think there's a lot of merit to that too. So possibly both, you know, but I think those two ideas are easy to implement and effective. So thank you both for those ideas. Sorry, I know there's a lot of talking in this video and a lot of people don't like that, but there's quite a few things to discuss. And to be honest with you, there's so many comments, I'm really not able to get to them all these days, and it's much more efficient, particularly given many of them are almost identical. It's actually easy just to say it in a video. I guess the point here is that we have a working exhaust, and if I kind of slow down and think about the suggestions, what's going to work, what's not going to work, we can have a better exhaust down the track, but without the boat actually being out of action for any length of time. You know, don't worry about it not being perfect. It's not dangerous, you know, it's going to be fine. If there's an exhaust leak, yeah, you do need to be careful perhaps about going into a confined space, but I'm pretty careful about that. I'm aware of it, so it'll be fine for now. But we will improve it. In the spirit of all that, I fired it up. It ran pretty well. I'm not going to let go of the mooring and go for a cruise until I have the new fuel system in and all that kind of hunting's gone away. I just don't want to end up floating out there for no reason, you know. I may as well just get it right. But meant that I could put it in gear, spin the prop, and it was moving nicely. By the time I actually sort of had a look at it and checked it out, by the time I actually went back in the wheelhouse, we'd moved quite a way forward against the mooring line. So, you know, it's a moving boat.
Definitely still got this fuel supply problem. You can hear the hunting. Getting a little bit better though. Maybe it's self-bleeding. Let it go for a bit. Water pump's obviously working.
Tighten this stern gland up after running it. Or maybe, I think it's supposed to drip while running and not drip so much while it's still. Let's leave it like that for now. That's pretty good. Oh well, so far so good. Definitely got that fuel problem from the hunting, and that's what that new fuel filter and the new fuel lines are all about solving. I think what I'll do is get all the new fuel filters in, and if it doesn't solve the problem, I'll give Adrian a call and get him to have a look at it with me. Just going to check the oil now. We've been running for a little while, mostly actually for any signs of water in it, but looks clear. Now, we've pretty much got the right amount of oil at the moment, and the engine's sitting at the angle it's going to be sitting permanently. I think I'll wait until the oil's a little bit dirtier before I mark the length on the dipstick. You can take it out from the hand or cut it and put it back in, just so I can see it a little bit more clearly. It's so clear at the moment, it's actually a little bit hard to see. It's definitely past full, well, on the dipstick, and it's definitely got the right amount in by the book, so just happy there's no water, that's all. Well, thanks for watching. Another little milestone, getting closer. I've been on the emails trying to trace down these fuel fittings, so hopefully they'll come soon. I actually haven't had a response for a couple of days, although I did get an email from the company asking me to write a review. That was a badly timed email. This weekend though, I will get on and we'll film the video I talked about with the Jabsco pump. That got put back just because the parts arrived, and that's much more exciting, so we did that. Alright, well take care, stay safe with the virus situation. I know isolating is a bit of a drag, but let's be honest, you know, the more vigilant we are about it now, the sooner it'll all be over. Alright, well take care, I will do the Jabsco video soon and I'll get that up during the week. See ya. Dottie's decided there's more food to be had in the house than there is in the garden. Where's your little shadow? There she is. Following you everywhere you go. Come on. Oh, you're all here. Don't eat out of the packet. On the floor. There you go, Daisy. There you go. Oh, Daisy, you're useless. Why have you started making that noise, Daffy? Look, behind you. At least you tried, Daisy.